the dinar was the Kuwaiti currency, and the dirham was the Moroccan currency. So in order to teach the Arabs Arabic, we have to make the coin, and that's what we did. And I cannot count how many alims and muftis over these years I have presented the coins and tell them Nahada, and they didn't know. They look at me perplexed, and that's when I told them this is the dinar. They giggle. They giggle. They, oh yeah, I remember. They still couldn't understand what we meant. This story started with 1. Now we are 13 million. By the end of the year, there will be 30 million users of Gold Dinar. But the Muslims are divided, people say. There are so many groups and this and the other. We have to talk to them. Yes, we will talk to them. But in the battlefield, in action. For this is not a matter of consensus. Your position is in favor of constitution and mine is not, so 50-50, right? No, this is not negotiable. Action is what will unify the Ummah. So we are moving forward. And we say to all of those that they say, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, come with us, join us, come to the front, act. And this is how we unify, with action. And with this tiny little piece of metal, which power is not in itself, it doesn't have intrinsic value. The value is the heart of the Mukminun who is behind it. And the one that when he passes the coin, he mentions the name of Allah. And when you pass on the coin, you tell the people, trust Allah, obey Allah. And when you say that, then you are charging the coin with meaning. That coin is what will change everything around us. If the coins come, the banks will not be able to exist. And then the wadiyas will come. For there is no banks in Islam, but wadiyas. And do you know how do I know about wadiya? Because of the language. And these are the words that you need. In page 20 it says, Ayn is a thing which is fixed and is individually perceptible, tangible, Ayn. And Dayn is a thing on the debit side of the account, is a debt, a liability, a promissory note. These two words are enough to make you see where other people cannot see. Ayn and Dayn. You will be able to see. The people don't know the difference. The money they have in the pocket is not money. It's Dayn. Dayn is a promise, but they think it's real. But it's a promise. If they knew it was a promise, they will go to the bank and they will say, hey, give me 100 ringgit. Or if you are in Indonesia, you will go with 100,000 rupiah. And you will go to the Bank of Indonesia and say, give me 100,000 rupiahs. And if you are in Pakistan, you will have these enormous 10,000 bills of rupees. Ayn and Dayn is sufficient to make the people see. But the Arabs don't know the difference. Because Zakat cannot be paid in Dayn. Zakat cannot be paid in Dayn. And Zakat is IBADAH. So they continue paying Zakat with, I promise to pay you the amount of 100 ringgits. And yet, the alim that receives the money doesn't know what a ringgit is. He's never seen a ringgit before. He's only seen the promise of the ringgit. And the recipient who gets the bill has never seen a ringgit. He doesn't even know that this is a promise. And it can be only one thing or the other, like Sehilish wrote, "Can't you pay with paper money?" Somebody asked him. I said, "Yes, you can." He said, "How?" He said, "For the value of the paper." For the only thing that is valuable when you pay with 100 ringgit bill is the paper, the Ayn. The Dayn is irrelevant for Zakat. So can you pay with paper money? Yes, but you have to bring a lot. This was a man who had wisdom, who could see. Now that's what you have. And then read. For the moment you're able to see, when you see, the Sharia speaks to you clearly, clearly, clearly. The Sharia is not made for big scholars. The Sharia is made for ordinary people, for us to follow. It cannot be complicated. They made it complicated, but it is not. Everybody has the ability to understand what is halal and what is haram. And then of course there are the exceptions of the exceptions of the exceptions of the exceptions, and that is what the alims are for, to find these intricacies. But the amal, the practice, the normality of the people is simple and powerful. And this is a time of darkness, so therefore whatever you know is very important. But don't just deceive yourself and go around and thinking that just saying what you know is going to make you any better. The people will run away from you if you tell them they are wrong. We are not here to judge. We are here to judge ourselves. So when you look at the difficulties of our people, you see in front of you your difficulties. Make it your problem. Unlike with a child, you don't give them a discourse. You guide them, you take them by the hand, and you show them how to do it. And you do it yourself in the first place. So this is not an ideology. Islam is not an ideology. Islam is practice. And to teach practice, you learn by practice. If you want to learn to play football, would you buy yourself a book of the rules of football? Or would you rather go and spend 1 month with Messi in Barcelona, playing with him? Who do you think is going to learn? This is our affair. This is what we do. This is what we enjoy doing it. If this thing comes as a difficulty to you, you haven't arrived yet. When this thing is the only thing that you can possibly do, when in this horizon of your life, this is the only thing that you are interested in doing, then you are coming close to the idea. That's how desperate you must be for knowledge, and to act upon it, and to demand from you, demand from yourself. If you cannot see, force yourself into it. Ask Allah, beg Him, and act, and fail, and come back. For what do you think is this affair? If in front of the first trouble you pull out, what does He say about you? is the first difficulty that comes across. The first, a pebble in the middle of the road, a pebble. And then you say, oh dear, there is a pebble there, I better go back. What does it say about you? Don't you see the pebble is there to teach you how to jump? But don't worry, after that pebble there will be a bigger stone, so that you learn how to jump higher. And then there will be a wall, so that you learn how to fly. That's why Shaykh Darqawi said, don't come to me with your little problems. They are pathetic nonsense. They are not even problems. They do not qualify. If Allah would have passed on to you the troubles He put to the walis of Allah and the prophets of Allah, you will not last 1 second. For don't you understand? Allah has put before you these tribulations in order to find that you find yourself, in order that you can clean yourself, in order that you can purify yourself. For there is no obstacle from here to the full establishment of Islam. There is no obstacle other than the ones we create ourselves. These obstacles are nothing but illusions. So be like the great people of our path, and when the trouble, you see the trouble coming, celebrate. Celebrate. And you say, oh God, this is good. I cannot do it. I am helpless. This is far beyond my forces. This is a great time. My time has come. Thanks Allah for giving me this chance to wipe out my nonsense and to elevate myself to come closer to you because of this opportunity.